Vengeance. Can you hear me just fine? Hello, Daniel. Yeah, let me. Yeah, give me a second. Let me just switch over to a better screen for me, and I'm gonna move it over here. So just give me a second. I'm just moving the screen over here so it's more in front of the cameras, and then I'm just opening up a different screen. Yeah, I can't. I get just like you guys know, I can't see questions just yet. I just want to switch over. You're fine. Mm, all right. Okay. You guys can hear me. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. All right, let me just pop over, open this screen here, and we should be ready to go. Let me just make that small. Well, I'll keep it big. Okay, that's a darker screen. All right. All right, you guys can start asking away. Currently editing two videos. I'm uploading like right now. I'm rendering the MGS Con contest, which I'm gonna upload as soon as this stream is over, and then I'm working on a worst best ranking of all of the icons from Final Fantasy 16. Uh, and then I'm going to finish the script for my Final Fantasy 16 review, and with some luck, I can hopefully get at least the filming parts done. I'll do some recording, and then I'll edit it after work tomorrow, and I'll have a good 3 hours before I have to go see Oppenheimer at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. So yeah. What game am I planning on getting next? That's a good question. I believe the next game that I have ordered is either. Just want to double check. Uh, wait, that doesn't seem right. It was gonna be it's one of three games. It was either Mortal Kombat, it was the Metal Gear Collection, or it was Super Mario RPG. I believe it has to be Mortal Kombat, but I just want to double check. I do believe it's Mortal Kombat. Come on. Mortal Kombat. Let me just double check. Okay, it would be a Mortal Kombat. Yeah, Mortal Kombat comes out in September. So yeah. What am I planning on getting? Am I planning on getting Starfield? I do not have an Xbox, so I can't even get that game, and I have no plans on getting an Xbox. I used to have one, and it wasn't a great experience. You started playing Jedi Survivor after 3 months. I know the feeling. Working two job schedules has made playing games very difficult, so I understand. Do you think that will be a bad idea for Andy to return in Toy Story 5? I'm not even acknowledging Toy Story 5 because I'm not acknowledging Toy Story 4. As far as I'm concerned, there's only three Toy Story films, and that's it. So I don't know what they're doing with this supposed fifth one, but I have no interest in ever seeing it. So I don't really care. Glad I'm not the only one who feels that way. Am I getting Mirage? Yes, I will get Assassin's Creed Mirage. That does seem like a game that is going to kind of go back to its older roots, similar to the I would say like Assassin's Creed like 2 era, or even like Black Flag era. I think I think it'll do that. God, this looks glitchy. Someone asked me if I wanted to see them bring Andy back. I said, hell no. No. No, no, no. They've done enough damage. Who even asked for Toy Story? I don't know. I don't know who asked for it, but it was a bad idea. I hated the fourth one. I hated the fourth one after the first like 5-10 minutes. It was like I just could not get over that. Like that's how bad it was. I was like, what? We're doing this now? And after that I was just like the movie was over. I was like, you can't bounce back from this. So what have you guys been up to? Damn, I feel old. I actually, I'll say this. I was thinking about doing a Dark Knight like video, just retrospect video, because I was made aware that apparently the release of it happened like 15 years ago, and I'm thinking, dear God, I feel like an old man now because I first saw that during my first year of college, and that was such an incredible experience. Yeah. Toy Story 4 was already an absolute mess. It was a mess to begin with. It shouldn't have happened. I legitimately hate everything about Toy Story 4. It didn't even feel like Toy Story to me. I agree. I agree. They completely destroyed the ending of the third film in the first 10 minutes. I did not like it just didn't work for me. Although has been like in a serious decline as of late, so they haven't really done anything recently that I've actually liked. I think maybe the last movie from Pixar I liked was maybe Incredibles 2, and even I thought that movie was just okay. I didn't like it anywhere near the first one. I only saw that movie once. I was just like, this movie isn't bad, but it's not something I would really want to see again. There is a YouTuber called Sheen Chandler who talks movies. Yeah, I know that. That name seems familiar. I think I'm already subscribed, and I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he makes a lot of incredible points. Of course, I agree. Toy Story 3 had literally the best. It had the best ending to a movie or trilogy I've ever seen. Like I think back to all the other great trilogies, and for me, Toy Story it has legitimately the best ending to a movie I've ever seen. Like not just Disney or trilogy wise, but it literally is the best ending I've seen in a film. Period. Which like helps, which is why I can't really divide the trilogy into different films because it always felt like it was like one singular story over the course of 3 films that you had to watch back to back to back and you couldn't just watch one film because it's the only film series that's ever like gone through my entire development from childhood to teenager to adult. I can't think of any other film franchise or movie series that's ever done that. Like hell, Knife and Power Rangers did that. Toy Story 2 is my favorite. Yeah, all 3 of them are 10 out of 10s to me. Toy Story 3 and Dark Knight are tied for number 1 spot in terms of being my favorite movie. I perfectly understand that. Yeah, those 2 are definitely in my top 10 films of all time. With Dark Knight tied with Terminator 2 to be in the 2 spot. Looking forward to Avatar, seeing it Friday. Yeah, all right. Well, hope you enjoy it because it's gonna be. I mean, I've heard it's very good. I have no doubt that it's good, but I feel I wish it was playing a little sooner than 9 o'clock because, like, I'm thinking it's like, well, they'll probably have like 15-20 minutes of previews. So for me, the movie won't actually start till like 9:20. So I anticipate that I won't get out of the theater till like midnight, 20 minutes past midnight, and then I actually had to do some research to find like the biggest IMAX theater in the city, and I tell you, how much it cost was not cheap, and it is quite a distance from where I live. So it's going to be like a 20-30 minute drive to get there, and so I probably won't get home till like 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I'll get like maybe 6.5 hours of sleep, and I have to go to work. Fun fact, I asked Ern what her favorite Toy Story, and she gave me 2 fingers, meaning a second film. Okay, that's fine. What do I think of Doctor Who, and who's my favorite Doctor? Uh, I don't watch Doctor Who anymore. I think I stopped. I think I stopped after. I think I stopped during the run of the 12th Doctor. But I would, but personally, just me personally, I would say like I'm not the biggest Doctor Who fan. I only started watching it during the Matt Smith era, so I would say just by default that's my favorite Doctor. I've never actually gone back and watched the David Tennant era or any prior eras of Doctor Who. I've not been that big of a fan. I've kind of just watched it in the moment, and then it was only for a period of time. Then I moved on to other things. Dark Knight is my favorite Nolan film. Heck, I've heard a lot of people say that, and I perfectly understand. Do a tier list of all Batman animated episodes. You can't do that. Do you know how many? Let's figure out. Let's see how many Batman animated episodes. Yeah, that's a good question. Like episodes. Okay, that seems low, but okay. Yeah, no, sorry, dude. I haven't watched this series in a little over 15 years, but apparently the original Batman animated series has 85 episodes. Yeah, I don't think I got that. Yeah, that ran from 1992 to 1995, with a further 24 episodes were under the title The New Batman Adventures. So technically, there's like 109 episodes. There's 109. Yeah, there's no way I'd be able to do a ranking of that. Like it was hard enough doing a Dragon Ball Z character race. So yeah, I don't think I can pull that one off. Toy Story is my favorite trilogy ever, and they completely ruined it. Everything in Toy Story 4. Yep, I agree. Your favorite Doctor Who is David Tennant, which is a common answer for most people. Do a tier of Pixar movies. And I already did a ranking. I already did a tier. I think I already did that. I'm pretty sure I've done it. Yeah, positive. I'm 100% positive I've already done that. I'm gonna just double check, but yeah, that sounds way too familiar. Worst to best. Yeah, that sounds way too familiar. Yep, yep. I did it. Yep, worst to best Pixar films tier list. Yeah, I've already done it. Right there. If you need to go, yeah, you can check my list of worst to best series. It's right there. It was right before the Batman films tier list. So you already did that one. How to Train a Dragon is my favorite trilogy of all time. Okay, I'm glad you enjoy it. Do you have a favorite film by Band of Pirates, Band of Misfits? Uh, that might sound familiar, but it's not ringing a bell. Who's my favorite Disney villain? Disney villain. That's a tough one. I think it might be either Scar or Frono. Those are the two villains that, even to this, I think Frono probably more so because I don't know, Scar was just jealous. Scar was just jealous. Frono was really psychopathic for a kids movie. I mean, I could understand jealousy, but Frono was a man in power who just couldn't accept the flaws within himself, and it went way too far. And unfortunately, technically, you could say he technically killed himself, maybe, perhaps. Otto from Wally. Instead of giving us Toy Story 5, Pixar, how about give us a Bugs Life 2? No, no. Ooh, no, no, no. Absolutely not. I do not want a Bugs Life 2. I do not want a Monsters Inc. 2. They already tried that with Monsters, like, Academy. And that wasn't very good. Oh, dude, honestly, do you, like, think about this. Do you really want modern Disney to try to revisit these classic Pixar films? I mean, we've already seen what they've done with Toy Story. Do you really want them to mess up Bugs Life? I don't think so. No. Absolutely not. Leave those films alone. They are just fine the way they are. Uh, have I seen Fantastic Mr. Fox? I don't know what that means. Which prequel series do I think was more disappointing between the Hobbit trilogy and the Fantastic Beasts films? Probably Fantastic Beasts. Because I mean, okay, the Hobbit I could understand. Like they'd already like if they'd wanted to put that into two films, all right, I could have understood that. But they just stretched that out to a third film just to make extra money, and it was a total disaster by the end. The Fantastic Beasts series was just something that just never should have happened. I mean, you're trying to make a movie around Newt Scamander, who's a zoologist, and you're telling the wrong story. Those films, if you were going to tell a prequel story like that, it should have been surrounded around Dumbledore and his conflict with Grindelwald. That's what should have been the focus. And like, I would say Fantastic. The first one was okay, but that would have served as like a one-off film. But to keep bringing Newt Scamander into your story and make him like the focus in a storyline that has nothing to do with him was always going to end badly. And it just got worse with the second and third films, especially with the third. I mean, there was just no reason to keep Newt in this story. Like, what, like that's ridiculous. I heard rumors that they're going to remove all Disney stuff in Kingdom Hearts 4. Any thoughts? I mean, if they do that, then what the hell are we dealing with? I mean, a big reason why I didn't like Kingdom Hearts 3 as much was they completely stripped out everything and anything that was Final Fantasy. I mean, that was kind of what made Kingdom Hearts such a was so enjoyable. It was what happens if you combine Disney and Final Fantasy. Like that was the draw. So once you got to the third game and you ripped out all of the Final Fantasy, and now apparently, if I don't know if that rumor is true, but if they strip out all the Disney, it's like what do you have left? Like Kingdom Hearts, like as its own lore, is not very deep and strong. It's very much reliant on connecting to other franchises, central in Disney. Like you take that away, you don't have anything. So I don't know what they're thinking, but that does not sound good. The only Pixar sequel I want is The Incredibles. I wouldn't even trust Incredibles 3. I mean, Incredibles 2 wasn't bad, but I didn't think it was that good either. I thought it was just okay, but I certainly would not want a third one. What are my top 5 worst movies that I've ever seen? Ugh. I mean, I guess I'll just go off the top of my head. I guess movie 43. I mean, no in particular. Like movie 43 was pretty bad. All the Twilight films were pretty bad. Sausage Party was, dear God, that was awful. Um, I don't know. I'd have to like probably Spider-Man: Far From Home. I think maybe I don't know which one that was. Like I think it was like the first Tom Holland. That's the I was in all the years I ever did YouTube. That was like the only review where I opened. Like I'm not sure if it's still up. That's the only movie review I ever did. That I was openly lying. I'll confess this. I lied. Everything I said positive in that film I didn't like. I only did not say anything. I didn't say anything negative because I was afraid of the backlash. That film that I'm not sure if that review is still up there, but it is a complete and utter lie. And let's see, what's something I hated? Oh God, I hated The Last Jedi. I mean, I didn't care much for Force Awakens, but Last Jedi, dear God, I was so pissed off. I wanted to punch like the nearest person to me. Unfortunately, it was a child, so I couldn't. I was like, dude, if I punch this child as an adult, I'm gonna spend the next 10 years in jail. So that's just a quick rundown. Just 5 films I really despise, like in no particular order. Uh, Cal. Okay. Thoughts on Final Fantasy 16? Okay, we already beat it. Um, it's not. I think I put my expectations. Okay, I mean, okay, I'm working on my review. So if you give me like another like a few days, I should have my review. But just off the top of my head, I like it. Um, I probably put my expectations for that game a bit too high. Because what I thought this was going to be was I thought it was going to be a Game of Thrones style story told in Final Fantasy with the combat speed of Devil May Cry, and it wasn't any of those things. And there's so many key RPG elements that were completely stripped. Like you could even question if this game is even an RPG anymore. I think the story was fine, but like the story I had in my head of how I thought it would go was better than what we got. And this is by far, without a doubt, one. It's not only the easiest Final Fantasy game I've ever beaten. I could put an argument that this is easily one of the easiest video games I've ever played that took me 40 hours to complete. Like it was piss poor easy. It was like I needed to sabotage my own play style in order to get any kind of challenge out of here. Like that's how easy it was. Like maybe like some like I read one I read saw one other video, like someone said that they probably should have done something like what they've done with Dark Souls or Elden Ring, which I didn't play either really of those games. I mean, I think I played like one Dark Souls games where it's a game you can tell a great story and it can be challenging, but it's the kind of game that you need to get better in order to progress. And I feel like Final Fantasy 16 could have benefited from it. I didn't really have to get better at anything. Like the typical strategies that I was using in 16 worked over the course of the game. Like I only died once in the entire 40 hours, and it was only because I didn't understand what was going on. Like even bosses were easy. Like the final boss is like the easiest boss fight in the game. And like this is supposed to be the final boss. Like I had taken on several bosses before that, like well before that were like a little more challenging. Like it was just easy, disappointingly easy. But I still think it was a good game. It's like I was like going in comparing it, saying, okay, is this gonna be the game that can compete with like dethroning Final Fantasy X? It's like, oh no, it's not. No, it's not anywhere good as good as 10. Okay, maybe 7. No, it's not better than 7. Maybe 6. No, not better than 6. Maybe 5. No, not better than the 5. Maybe 8. I don't know. Maybe 15's like is kind of on par with 15's. Like there's some things in 16 I think are better, and then there's some things in 15 I think are better. But I really need to sit down and think about which game I really enjoyed more. But that's just a quick breakdown of my thoughts on 16. Do I like the Mario movie better or than the Sonic film? Ooh, that was tough. Did I like Mario more? No. No, unfortunately, no. I did not like Mario as much as Sonic. I think the thing for me that hurt Mario the most was the disrespect they did to Luigi. Um, I like for a movie called Super Mario Brothers, like Luigi has so little to do in that film, and I'm a bigger Luigi fan than Mario fan. I think when I compare it to something like Sonic 2, I think that they did a much better job of getting the side characters things to do. So like Tails was pretty significant, Knuckles was pretty significant, and I liked that. Like Sonic was the lead, but Knuckles and Tails were also significant to the plot, and Luigi wasn't. Like Luigi did not do anything. Like I didn't think like really like you're gonna treat Luigi with this much disrespect, and then you're gonna just like pity give him like part of the mega star at the end. Like I felt that was a cop out. I mean I still liked the film, but I was just like, yeah, nah, I didn't feel like seeing this again. I'm happy for its success, but would I see Sonic 2 or Mario, which one do I pick? I would easily go to Sonic easily. No question. Do you think much of the hate Metal Gear Solid 4 gets is unwanted? Like, where is this? I was talking to a lot of people about this. What is everyone's issue with 4? Because 4, I really liked 4. I think they were just complaining about the long cutscenes and how convoluted the story was. It's like the story has to explain like 70 years of explanation over the course of a 7-game series. Like it's a lot to go over. But I perfectly understand it perfectly. Like I could easily explain it in 2 sentences, like the primary focus of Metal Gear Solid 4. But I didn't realize that people hated it because that game is like so well received. Isn't that like a game of the year? Like I'm pretty sure that one game that won like several game of the years, and like there were like so many websites that were giving that like 10 out of 10s. So this notion that people hated 4 is like a surprise to me. I mean, that was like me finding out that people didn't like the prequels till I got into like high school. It was like I didn't know. I know people had like some issues with the prequels like I did, but overall I had a fun time. And then I get this wave of people saying, "Oh, they hate the prequels." Like, wow, this is new to me. Like, I didn't know this existed. Worst movie I've seen: Food Fight, Gemmo and Juliet, Justice League, Agent Fox, Toy Story 4. That's a solid collection. When Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, do you think they'll include Star Wars? Look, I don't know what they're doing with Kingdom Hearts 4. If it ever comes out, I don't know. I probably won't even get it at this point because, it took what 14, 15 years for Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out. So by those standards, you can expect Kingdom Hearts to, think about this. I was in high school when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. I was in my 30s. I was just turning 30, or I was in my late 20s when it finally came out. I was like, this game was not worth the wait. Like, no way. And so if we're judging it by those standards, Kingdom Hearts 4 shouldn't come out till like I'm in my mid 40s. And by then I won't even care. So I'll have moved on. I heard they might add Spider-Man in Kingdom Hearts 4. I don't think they have the rights to do that. Sony still owns the rights to Spider-Man, so Disney can't even do anything with Spider-Man unless they say so. Top 5 worst games I've played: Fallout, Crackdown, that game, Lego Movie, and the video game Agents of Mayhem. Okay. Haven't heard of many of those games. That's crazy if they added Spider-Man to Kingdom Hearts 4. Hey, what's up, Zach? How are you doing? Love the Mario movie. I'm glad you had fun with that. Do you think Illumination should make a sequel to Mario? I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean, they made the first one. Why wouldn't they make the second one? Just like people were thinking, it's like, should Illumination just make the Zelda film? I don't know why they wouldn't. I was very hyped when they revealed Shadow at the end of Sonic 2. Yeah, I can understand that. What do I think about Jill in general in Resident Evil 3 Remake and how Capcom is doing her now? Do you prefer her during the older games? Or, yeah, I certainly do like her older version. Not really a fan of this newer version. And I don't really like how they include... I think the newest Resident Evil film is out now, or I know some people have seen it, but it just doesn't make sense. Why are you adding Remake Jill to original story timeline? I don't know how many times I have to say this. Why is Jill wearing they didn't even change her clothes. She's wearing the exact same outfit she wore in 1998. It's like no time passed. It's like they just took her from Resident Evil 3 and jumped her like 20 something years into the future, and she's like, nothing happened. Ghost Recon is awesome, in my opinion, better than Metal Gear Solid. That's perfectly understandable. Do you think Raiden should have been received into if he was... Do I think he would have been received better in 2 if he was a female? No. How do you explain butt-naked cartwheels? I don't know how they would handle that. I think you might get some serious complaints. And they certainly redeemed Raiden in his next 2 appearances, so I think it's okay. And surprisingly, I spoke to a lot of people at MGS Con, and a lot of them like Raiden. So I like Raiden. I like what Raiden became, not so much how he started. because we were actually talking about that. I went into detail. Like, there were like several other YouTubers at MGS Con, and I was just going over how incredible. Like, I'm not sure if you guys remember this, but there was really no promotion for Raiden up until the release. Like, no one really knew that Raiden was going to be the main character until the game came out. Like, I don't even think you can find any promotional material that reveals Raiden. Like, all of those tanker missions, they put Snake in those moments. So going into the game, you're thinking, okay, Snake's going to be the main focus, and then you get past the tanker series, then you go to the plant missions. Like, wait a second, we're playing like 85% of this game with Raiden. We didn't know that. I mean, you can never get away with something like that today. Like, that would have been leaked. But Hideo Kojima somehow kept that quiet until the game releases. That was unprecedented at the time. As far as I can, I mean, I would say that's almost on par with like what they did with Samus in the first game, where like, no one knew that Samus was a girl until you beat the game. I mean, I'm not the biggest Metroid fan, but I would say it was as significant as that. What is my biggest problem with The Dark Knight from being number one? I think the only thing that holds Dark Knight back is that it's built off of another film. I mean, Inception is like a one-time film. It's not built off of anything that came before it. Now, that's not a bad thing, because sometimes it's good to be built off of something good, but I think that's kind of the thing. But that puts it on par with something like Terminator 1. Terminator 2 was built off how good Terminator 1 was, much like The Dark Knight was built off how good Batman Begins was. But Inception, for me, was its own thing, and I think it was probably the most thought-provoking film that I had ever seen up to that point. And it really was the film that kind of established my rule of like only seeing Nolan films in IMAX. Like, that started with Inception. And so every single film after that, I only see Nolan films in IMAX. I cannot think of a single Nolan film after Inception that I did not see in IMAX. And if there wasn't, and if an IMAX showing was sold out, then I wouldn't see it. I would wait until there was an opening to see it in IMAX before I saw it, even if I had like a few days. Like I saw Dark Knight in IMAX. I saw Dunkirk in IMAX. I saw Interstellar in IMAX. I saw Tenet in IMAX, and that was during COVID, which probably wasn't the best idea, but I did it anyway. And I'm going to see Oppenheimer in IMAX, in the biggest IMAX theater in Las Vegas, which was really expensive. Wonder when Resident Evil 9 comes out. I don't know when it'll come out. Who knows? Maybe in 5 years or so. Well, some people don't like how new Jill was mad, screaming, and cursing a lot. Capcom can do whatever they want with their characters. They own them. Favorite Batsuit of all time? Batsuit. I'll be honest. I probably would go with the Dark Knight suit. To keep it simple, that one seems like something that's like military base. And I always believe that when it comes to military equipment, it's always designed to work properly. I look at the other suits, I'm just like, it's like Keaton's suit's iconic, but you can't really turn your head, and it's so limiting. Kilmer and Clooney's suit have the nipples, which a lot of people hate the nipples. I understand that, but they don't bother me nearly as much. I think of Ben Affleck's suit that just looks like too big. Like, he just looks like too big to be able to move around like he does. Like I don't buy it. Robert Pattinson's suit, it looks like something he just kind of put together himself, which that's good, but it means that I will probably expect to see a much more enhanced suit in the next Batman film. So it just kind of felt like the Dark Knight suit was like the proper transition, and he stuck with that suit all the way through to Dark Knight Rises. So they must have felt like, okay, this is the suit we can stick with. We don't need to make any improvements like we did between Begins and the Dark Knight. So that's why I think that in live action, that's probably my favorite suit. I always thought that Raiden's character's arc was similar to Luke Skywalker. He starts off incredibly whiny, but evolves into a badass. Yeah, I made that statement. What about Final Fantasy elevates it over Metal Gear Solid 1? What elevates it for me was that simply that Final Fantasy VII really established it's the most important video game I've ever played because that was the game that one established my love for PlayStation, but more so it established my love for story-based games. Um, I'm like when it comes to any game, I always value story over anything, whether it's graphics, controls, gameplay, whatever. If your game has a good story, it's something worth playing. If you're even if you got like terrible controls, like it might be hard if the game could have the worst controls ever, but if your story is compelling enough and can get through to me in a serious way, heck, I'll push through. I'll adapt. I've done that several times where a game had like really hard controls, but the story is really good, so that kept me going. If you don't have a good story and you don't like, make me care, then what's the point? Plus, if I wasn't into story games, I'd probably be an Xbox gamer just playing Call of Duty or Halo every day. No offense to Xbox gamers, but Xbox gamers simply are just shooters. I don't think people who stick with Xbox only value story. They just want to shoot something. No offense to Xbox people. It's just from my experience that's what they've told me. from the Xbox people that I know, they play mostly shooters. They don't play story driven games. Sorry I'm late. Had to do things, Selena, about now. Okay, well that's fine, Black Wolf. I don't even know how far we're into the stream. I've lost track. Okay, we've been going for 36 minutes. Okay, well, even that went fast. What if Vamp was a female as originally planned in Metal Gear Solid 2? Okay. I mean, doesn't change how I feel about Vamp if you make him a female or a male, or wouldn't change how I felt about it. Underrated and overrated game franchise besides The Last of Us. What do I think is underrated and what do I think is overrated? I think Half-Life is overrated. Um, just from what I've seen of Half-Life, it never looked impressive to me. Underrated, I would say. That's something I think is. I don't have an under. I have several underrated games, but I can't think of any underrated like franchises because most of them are dead. Like I think Infamous is very underrated, but that's a dead franchise. Killzone is very underrated. That's a dead franchise. Resistance is a dead franchise. That's underrated. And I really think that PlayStation needs to bring back at least one first-person shooter franchise. Like they had two of them, and they both ended around the same time. So I would love for them to bring either one of them back or to come up with a new one. I like how Guerrilla Games has moved on from Killzone and is now focused on Horizon, and how Insomniac has moved on from Infamous and is now on Ghost of Tsushima, which I'm sure Ghost of Tsushima 2 is going to be announced like a year or two from now, and it's going to be great. But yeah, those are just ones that off the top of my head. What are my least favorite Disney World in all of Kingdom Hearts? Least favorite? Probably Winnie the Pooh, because you don't really do much except just interact from the first game. I guess Winnie the Pooh. I mean, heck, I like Winnie the Pooh, but like, I don't even remember you fighting any Heartless in Winnie the Pooh's world. I don't remember that happened. There wasn't much. I mean, it's. I mean, some people like don't like the. I think it's the Little Mermaid. Like I'm trying to think of. I think it was the Little Mermaid level in either the first game or the second one where it like it was the second one where it's nothing but like quick time events, but you're singing songs. Like people hated that in Kingdom Hearts 2, but I had fun with that. Do I have an OC? What is any OCs? Black Wolf, elaborate. What is an OC? Do I have an Instagram? Yes, man, I have an Instagram. It is all over my feeds. I post about them in the description of all my videos. So yeah, if you guys want to, I'm surprised many of you don't follow me on all my social media outlets because that's like the best way to get in contact with me because I'm always active there. Even though I'm a story-driven gamer, I personally believe that gameplay is the most important part of the game. Hey, that's totally understandable. I think that's more true for older games. I think games that were made probably in, I'd say, like the 16-bit back, you needed good gameplay. But I think once you got to like the 3D era, so I would say at the point where like Nintendo 64, the PlayStation, especially PlayStation On, I think story was big. Like I think like a lot of people, like that's when I think story for me really started kicking off. But before that, yeah, I would have agreed that gameplay would have been a major important, especially for those early eras. Do you think that David Hayter would be a good Captain America? No, I don't think he would. I no. Cool guy. I hope I get a chance to meet him next year at next year's MGS Con, but no, I don't think so. He looks more like Wolverine personally, and I think didn't he write this? Didn't he have like help write the script for like the first X-Men film? So that's what I think. What Varium in Hogwarts Legacy was my favorite theme song? Mine was Coastal. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I haven't actually played that in a while, but I want to go back when I have a chance to do so. Do I think that Hunt Down the Freeman deserves as much hate as it got when it first came out? I've never even heard of that, so I don't know what that is. I'm surprised you didn't say Atlantica from Kingdom Hearts 1. No, I think that's the one people hated. I think they hated it because I think Atlantica in Kingdom Hearts 1, that was a full level. It wasn't really a full level in the second game because it was just a lot of quick time events. There wasn't actually any real combat, so I think that's why I think people hate that world the most. I think the worlds that don't work for me is ones where I'm not fighting or I'm doing anything significant, and I just felt like I wasn't doing anything in the Winnie the Pooh level in Kingdom Hearts 1. So that's why I don't like that world the most. But again, I don't hate Winnie the Pooh. Do I think that Kiefer Sutherland would have been a great big boss if he was given more to work with? Probably not. I honestly I don't know why they cast him as Venom Snake. It just seemed like a one-off thing, so I don't think he would have even taken it serious as other voice actors. They spoke very deeply about that at the MGS Con when they had the panel. When the voice actors were there, they spoke very deeply in terms of how important it was to actually get involved in his characters. And I don't think Kiefer Sutherland was that into his character, to be fair. So I think it was just a paycheck for him. Not to say he's a bad actor or anything, but I think that when you get actors of that caliber and you try to put them in a game series, I don't think they take it nearly as seriously. That's why I just don't think that Venom Snake as a character ever really worked deeply for me personally. If someone reimagined Winnie the Pooh as Demon Slayer from Conflict. Vengeance, you love Atlantica in Kingdom Hearts 2 though. Dude, I'm just saying, I don't hate it. It was just nothing but quick time events. There's no combat. It was just singing. I was like, what is this? I think my favorite world for me was either Hollow Bastion or the Tron world. I think those were my two. Which yeah, I think those two I like the most. An OC or a fan is a character of your creation. Original character. I'm not really sure. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Best game that I played in 2023 so far. What would I say? I think the best game I've played so far this year's probably Dead Space. Wait, I'm pretty sure Dead Space came out. Wait, did Dead Space? I'm pretty sure Dead Space. Pretty sure Dead Space came out this year. Did it come out this year? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would say Dead Space. Yeah, definitely Dead Space. I personally think that Jeff Skinner did an admirable job as Captain America. I also think that Travis did a great job as Thor. Oh, okay. Can't really opinion about that. I love Winnie Pooh to death. Heck, I'm not squashing anybody who likes Winnie the Pooh. Heck, I'm someone who went to go see. I'm not even sure if you guys remember this film, Christopher Robin. I saw that opening day. People probably forgot about that film, but heck, I saw it. I loved it. I loved it. There's a lot of older Disney films, live action, that a lot of people have forgotten about. Do you guys remember that Wizard of Oz prequel movie with James Franco in it? I can't remember what it was called. I forget. Someone help me out in the chat. But I liked that movie. I just can't think of the name. I only ever saw it once, but I thought it was fine. I still cannot believe they made that disgusting horror movie for him. Oh, you mean that one where Winnie Pooh's a killer? I didn't see that one, but that one looked interesting. I've been wondering if I should go and see that one. That was an interesting concept. Which game do I think will deliver between Spider-Man 2 or Alan Wake 2? Probably Spider-Man 2. I mean, I think they'll both deliver, but which game do I think will be better? I think Spider-Man 2 will be an overall better game for me to play, even though I'm probably going to give it like at highest a 9 because I hate the face they're using for Peter Parker. So I will never see that film. I mean, that's perfectly fine. I'm just saying it seemed like an interesting concept. Would you say that Metal Gear is your favorite story in media, including movies and TV show? No, I wouldn't say it's my favorite story. It's my favorite gaming franchise, but I would say like overarching story. No, I wouldn't say that. Have I played Mafia? I have played Mafia 2. I own that. I think that's the only Mafia game I own, and I thought it was fine. It got such a bad reputation. I don't know. I didn't see any reviews for it. All I did was see like a trailer and saw some posts about it and read some comments. And I was just like, Winnie the Pooh as a killer. That could be interesting. I just thought it was interesting. Oz the Great and Powerful. Yes, that is the film. I liked that film. I only saw it once in theaters, but I liked it. It was weird seeing Mina Coolidge play a young witch of the West. It didn't quite work for me, but overall I thought it was okay. The movie blew up on 1-star ratings. Do I have a favorite Nickelodeon show? Rocko's Modern Life. No question. Love that show. Followed closely by something like Doug, and then Nick Arcade, and then Aro Monsters, and then Cousin Skeeter, and then Kenan and Kel, and then Cousin Skeeter again, and then all that, and then Are You Afraid of the Dark? That was a good one. And then Guts. Oh dear God, Guts! Oh my God, Guts! Urgh! I'm so pissed off I didn't live in Florida. Or, oh my God, Legends of the Hidden Temple. Oh my God. Oh, that would have been a dream. I would have killed in those two shows. But it was only for kids in Florida. And I was living in Vegas. Oh my God. 90s Nickelodeon was the best TV ever for a kid. It's like, I feel so bad for kids today. They do not know what they missed in the 90s. Nickelodeon in the 90s was unstoppable. Even by today's standards, like I haven't seen any decade of TV for kids that even comes close to 90s Nickelodeon. Oh my God. So many incredible shows, so many kid shows I would have wanted to be on. Do you guys remember Double Dare? Oh my God. My family would have killed that. We would have gotten all messy and dirty. Oh, we would have killed. Oh my God. Those were good times. Very good times. Probably the happiest decade of my life. Yeah. What do I think about the live-action Dead Space movie? What are you talking about? I'm not aware they're doing any Dead Space movie. This is the first I'm hearing. I've heard rumors that they might do a Dead Space movie, but I don't think they'll do it. Ever heard of Radiohead? If so, what's your favorite item? No, I've never heard of Radiohead. The only time I've ever heard of anything Radiohead was in South Park. But I don't know what songs they do. I don't think I can't even name one. Mine is Kid A. Put that cookie down. Oh my God. Oh God. I love Jingle All the Way. That's easily a top 10 Arnold Schwarzenegger film. And Jake Lloyd was really. I think Jake Lloyd was perfect in that film. Outside of Star Wars, I don't think he did anything. I think he only did 2 films, maybe. I think it was Episode 1 and Jingle All the Way. But I thought he was better in Jingle All the Way. But God, I'd love to own a Turbo Man. Actually, I think I saw a friend of mine. They got a Turbo Man for Christmas. I think I might get one if I can. I would definitely pick that up. That's the Jingle All the Way is easily a top 5 favorite Christmas film of all time. I would put it up there with like the live action Grinch Stole Christmas and Home Alone 1 and 2. Easily. Do I have a favorite all-time favorite story? Probably 10. If we're talking about video games, I would probably go to Final Fantasy 10, maybe. Although, like just off the top of my head. Have you ever heard of Saint? No, Black Wolf, I've never heard of that. No, what if they made a Dead Space live action movie? I wouldn't want them to do it. That no, I don't think you could. If they did try to do it, it would be vastly different. Just like I don't think they could do a God of War movie properly. Like to be fair, like they I just think that one, which God of War are we dealing with? Are we dealing with like Daddy Kratos or God of War Kratos? Because if it's God of War Kratos, then it's not gonna be an entertaining film because Kratos is by himself the entire time, and he's just going from point to point, just killing people. I mean, this isn't John Wick here. I mean, he would have to interact with someone, and I think that it would be more suitable to start off with Daddy Kratos. I think it has a better cast, but then you can't ignore like how he became who he is, which is why I just don't think a God of War. I just don't think a God of War film would work. I will say this: if you guys have ever seen this film, I would go watch the movie Wrath of the Gods, Wrath of the Titans, the sequel to Clash of the Titans, which a lot of people hated, but I actually thought it was okay. But Wrath of the Titans, that is as close to a God of War movie as you're gonna get. If you have not seen that film, or if you haven't seen it in a long time, give it a watch and tell me that that is like how they structure that would not make a good God of War movie. Like just aesthetically, that's how I would expect God of War to look. Like just aesthetically, I'd give that a chance. Radiohead, I prefer Sade. It's pronounced Sade. Nickelodeon has like the best sitcoms ever. Drake and Josh, iCarly, Victor. Yeah, I saw some of those shows. That's crazy. I was watching those shows back in those times, but this still doesn't compare to '90s era Nickelodeon. Scott Tetterman, there is no bathroom. Kindergarten Cop. I saw that recently again. That was great. Comparing Sade to Radiohead is wild. What is my favorite Christmas movie? Mine is Christmas Carol 2009. Mine is Die Hard. Die Hard is 100% a Christmas movie, and anybody who loves that film knows it. It is 100% a Christmas film. That's not up for debate. I'm sorry. What in a Chris? This movie has everything in a Christmas movie. Everything. So Die Hard is a Christmas film, and it is my favorite Christmas film of all time. You got to hear about the new Deadpool movie. I saw pictures, but I'm on the fence if I'll go see it. I mean, I don't know. I get the feeling they're gonna make it PG-13 or PG somehow. I think it'll be PG-13. I don't think it'll stay R. They're gonna water it down big time. There's no way Disney is gonna release an R-rated film as long as they own it. It's never gonna happen. That girl in Ern is pronounced Aaron. Another thing not up for debate is Breakfast Club is the greatest ending ever. Heck, I've never seen that film, to be fair, so I can't comment. I've never seen that film. How much time we got? Okay, we got like 6 minutes. Who is my favorite Marvel Legacy character? I don't know. I haven't really read Marvel in a while, so I don't know I don't know what the definition of a legacy character is. I have no idea. So no clue. What is my favorite? Who is my second? Okay, this is a little conflicting. What do you mean by favorite singer? Because I have like singer and band, and they're like you kind of put them in the same group. Like who would I prefer to listen? Like I would say like individually, like my favorite artist would be like Michael Jackson, but like my favorite band would be Linkin Park. Like if I had to pick, would I go to a Michael Jackson concert or a Linkin Park concert? I think it depends on the album because Michael Jackson only did 3 tours. And Linkin Park did several tours, but I'll be like, if I could pick like, the best Michael Jackson tour, which is obviously bad, and the Meteor tour for Linkin Park, which one would I go to? I'd easily go with Meteor, hands down. So it's hard. Like second favorite singer, so that's a little bit hard. You'd have to band Linkin Park. If we're talking second band, I'd probably say Disturbed, followed by like Poets of the Fall, and then 3 Days Grace, like bands like that, but like older ones. I don't think 3 Days Grace is as good as it used to be. I mean, I'm not really a fan of I wasn't really a fan of their like last two albums. I think they're okay, but they're not nearly as good as like albums like One X or Life Starts Now. Like those for 3 Days Grace. That's when to me when they were at their best. Just my opinion. Do you consider Mr. Freeze an actual villain? He's got villain elements, but he's a bit he's more sympathetic than other villains. I'll go that far and say. Paranoid Android is by Radiohead. I've never heard of that song. My favorite band is Foreplay. Never heard of them. So, okay. How much time we got? I got like another 4 minutes. All right. What is my favorite Nathan Drake joke? Is that it? Is this his joke? Nathan Drake joke. Does he ever make jokes? I mean, he just makes a lot of smirty comments, but I don't know if he says any all-out jokes. Like, nothing he says that I find funny. I mean, he just says, like, asshole a lot, and I laugh sometimes, but I'm not sure I don't think that's a joke. How's the Vista Brain? Wow, you're like the second person today who's done that. Who spells brain? Brain. Oh, guys, just I'm not sure if I said this earlier, but as soon as this stream is done, I'm going to be uploading the Metal Gear MGS cosplay contest. Surprisingly, it was a little bit longer than I thought it was, so it's going to be like 18 minutes long, but it does show it in its entirety. I took out like a lot of the pause moments, and anytime it's at a different angle, it's only because I had to go back to the fan and cool off and then come back and I had to be in a different spot and reposition myself. Well, he actually is very sarcastic and can be funny. Yeah, but I don't recall him ever saying any jokes. I mean, he was just like saying some witty comment, but as far as I know, Nathan Drake never like paused, said a joke, and then laughed or expected a laugh. I don't remember that happening. Your favorite paint is Pink Floyd? Okay, that's cool. And we got like 2 more minutes. So if you got any last ones, I get them at now. Funniest Spider-Man joke you've ever heard? Spider-Man joke. Okay, now Spider-Man's a jokester. Damn, it's tough. I honestly can't think of any right now. It would probably be from the Fox Kids animated series. That's the one that stands out to me the most. Who would I say have more consistent games between Solid Snake and Big Boss? In terms of gameplay or story? Sorry. It's hard to say. Between Big Boss and Solid Snake, it's hard to say. Damn, my voice changed. Okay, guys. I gotta cut the stream there. If enough people show up, I might do a stream on Twitch and hopefully just something random. But yeah, I'll drink some water, vengeance. Don't worry. But I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by. If I, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter or Instagram. That way, if I do hop on Twitch in the next like 30 minutes, you guys will know, and we continue talking there. So again, thanks for stopping by. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you guys next week.